Now guys, with the recent changes to projectile hitboxes, you may notice it being a little bit more difficult to actually land your shots when you're using a projectile-based hero. Now the change was really put into place because of the big public outcry over Hanzo's sofa-sized arrows being able to headshot people without actually having to aim on their head. I mean, from my Hanzo tutorial, I even said like you can just shoot in the general direction and you'll get a headshot, right? You can basically hit someone mid-shoulder and it would still count as a headshot. So this change I think was a good move on Blizzard's part, you know, to reduce the hitboxes so they aren't so ginormous. But when you take a look at why Blizzard did this, it kind of raises a few questions. I believe the reason behind this design choice was more of a balance issue between hitscan and projectile-based heroes. For those who don't know, hitscan weaponry basically has bullets travel instantly to the target or the destination or whatever you want to call it, whereas projectile-based heroes, they have some travel time. So the most obvious difference would be, or comparison would be, let's say Soldier 76 and Pharah, right? Pharah's rockets take some time to travel through the game's space to reach the target. Now, the obvious difference between the two is ease of use. A lot of people would say, oh, I actually have an easier time, you know, landing shots with projectile-based heroes than Soldier 76. But by definition, guys, hit-scan weapons remove a level of prediction required to utilize properly. And this becomes much more apparent. This difference becomes much more apparent the farther out your target is. So to compensate for this, Blizzard had originally made it so the hitbox for projectile weapons were a little bit bigger. And while the intent was good, I often felt like the this giant hitbox type, you know, thing for projectile weapons, it did feel a little dumbed down because of how easy it was to land headshots. It almost felt like it didn't count sometimes. However, the skill required to use projectile-based weapons just got increased by a shit ton, guys. Now, before anyone says, oh, just get good candy, I'm not saying they should revert it. Like, they should keep it as is. And I love the aspects of a game where, you know, it actually requires a lot of skill to use, so simply getting better at a game is definitely, you know, an important part, but I feel like a lot of a hero's strength also comes from ease of use. One way to look at it is, you know, you could think of a bigger hitbox translating to more of a chance to land shots, which basically a higher average DPS or damage done overall, right? And this makes me wonder, is the balance between hit scan weapons and projectile weapons now out of whack? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Like, given the increased difficulty it is to land projectile-based weapons, especially at longer ranges, should they reward landing those shots a little bit more, right? So currently, most projectile weapons make up for it by having no damage drop-off, and I think most hit scan weapons do have damage drop-off. So, do you guys think this is enough to make up for it? Is this enough? In my opinion, Blizzard should kind of keep a close eye on projectile-based heroes, and if there is a sudden change in viability, or if suddenly, you know, like projectile-based heroes are now underperforming at all levels, by the way, they should kind of take a look at the lower levels as well as, you know, tournament professional play in comparison to hit scan heroes. And, you know, if there is a difference, maybe they should experiment with ways to reward the additional increased skill it takes to land those projectile shots over hitscan one. So I'm not exactly, you know, picking either side because, you know, the new patch has only come out for a few days. It's only like, what, 3 days now, and so obviously no one can really come to conclusions just yet, but I kind of want to make you guys aware to at least have that, you know, awareness that, you know, maybe there's going to be a bigger ramification here when they decrease the projectile hitboxes. So yeah, just off the top of my head, guys, as far as rewarding those shots from projectiles, I'm thinking of things like maybe Blizzard could experiment with adjusting projectile speeds so it's a little bit snappier with landing the shots, or maybe increasing the damage on projectile-based weapons ever so slightly, though I think this may get a little dangerous with balancing, because, you know, if you start messing with damage values, you're going to have to really look at, you know, how balanced heroes are overall as a package. So I don't know, these are just sort of like things I'm thinking about. Again, I'm not saying they should revert the larger hitboxes, but obviously, guys, food for thought here. Blizzard felt the need to put these larger hitboxes in the game for projectile heroes out of an effort to balance the ease of use, you know, the difference of ease of use between hitscan and projectile, right? So again, with the hitboxes being so similar, does this shift the balance to favor hit scan weapons a little bit more? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, but keep in mind, guys, that you know, I'm putting this out pretty early, so if it turns out that everything is fine and that projectile weapons are okay and you know it's all dandy, then never mind me. But like, if there is a big outcry over the balance between hit scan projectile based heroes, like give it like a month or so. Don't say I didn't call it, guys. Anyways, those are just my thoughts for today, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.